don't you look at me? Where are your manners? If a stranger asks for help, is it right to ignore them? Is that how it is? I will share a secret with you. I have never seen myself before. I don't know if my face is ugly. I don't know the color of my skin. I don't know if I'm even here. That is why I need you to open your eyes so you can tell me how I look. But I'm also shy, so I might hide the moment you do. You won't find me anywhere, and soon you will forget like a faded dream. No, you're not asleep. You listen with those tiny ears of yours. They look so fragile, like I could almost grab them. Put my fingers around them and tear them off. If I do, will you scream? Will I hear your voice? It was a joke. I'm joking. Don't be scared. Hey, how do you think my eyes look when our gazes finally meet? What will you find? Answer me. They look empty. That may be so. The eyes are the window to the soul. That's what someone told me long ago. They said that the soul was holy, bright, beautiful. Every person has one, both the good and the evil. But that person said I was the exception, that something like me couldn't possibly own something so holy, so bright, so beautiful. They looked inside of me, took a deep breath, and announced their conclusion with great fatigue. Their eyes that could see it all, couldn't find anything in there. I'm sure that if you were to cut me apart, not even blood would flow out, even if I felt it sometimes crawling through my veins. Maybe that's why I've never seen myself before, because I'm empty. But isn't that something to be grateful for? Because if I were to look and find nothing there, then surely I would feel disappointed. By not looking, I can ease myself of that pain. So maybe this is for the best. I can't remember who was the first to recite these words to me, nor the second, nor the third, nor the several others who came after. The only thing I remember is that they looked as empty as I did to them. Hey, have you ever felt so empty, so devoid of what makes everyone special, that you've embraced the void as your own? Have you? These eyes, are these my eyes? A good answer. Yet there is only one way to know the truth. Open your eyes, so you won't look at me, even though your eyes are so pretty. I can't see them, but I can imagine them behind their veil of flesh, round like pearls and shiny like jewels. So pretty. It's fine. We still have time. The night is still and silent. People are good at closing their doors. Do you know what a door is? Of course you know. You have one. Right there, at the verge of your little world. A door is a barrier to keep the bad out. The bad can be anything. A bad person, a bad smell, and sometimes me. I can't open doors. I find them tricky. Should I push or pull? Should I turn the knob left or right? Should I try to take it off its hinges? Should I chip away at it, hoping it will fall apart? And what happens when it opens? Do I close it behind I keep it open, but that might be rude to the person who had it closed. But then, how do I get out? And what happens? If the wind pushes it close, what then? So many options. So many things that could go wrong. Whenever I stand in front of a closed door, it paralyzes me. I stare at it for a long time and think of my excuses, because that's all they are. What bothers me the most about closed doors is the idea they exist to keep me out. It fills me with the need to go in, so I search for a crevice or a window, anything that might be open, anything that might let me in. I'm not good with doors, but as long as there's a place where I can fit, then I can go in anywhere. Every night, I hop across the shadows of the streets. I'm careful so as to not be caught by the light. In my eternal search, I pick a place where to rest. I slip in and spend the night wherever is comfortable, without alerting anyone. Usually it's a cellar, an attic, anywhere with dust, with dirt. I feel at home there. But sometimes, just sometimes, an urge swells inside of me. The urge to be seen. So I search hard for a door that's open, for an entryway covered in darkness, and for someone to be at the other end, awake, as if expecting me. But you won't look at me, even though you had your door open for visitors. Why is that? Are you afraid? Do I scare you? No, that can't be it. We have been chatting for so long. You haven't chased me out. That means you welcome me. So I'm certain that if I were to reach out my hand, you would reciprocate and grasp it. I'm sure your hands are warm, so very warm, because people are always warm. Hey, how do my hands look when my warmth finally meets yours? How will it feel? Answer me. They look deceitful. That may be so. These hands of mine tend to squirm into places I could never imagine. Be it tiny holes in the walls, housing arachnids of all sizes, or the pockets of midnight walkers, strolling the parks that sometimes serve me as home. These fingers squirm in and drag out what they find. So now I carry all sorts of trinkets with me. Keys, peeping gadgets, notes with love poems in them, the corpse of one or two insects, eventually eaten away by those who come take their place. I keep everything with me, regardless of their use. But sometimes I feel bad, because maybe it was something important. The person I took them from could be distraught, their happiness shattered, their lives ended. So I consider maybe dropping them somewhere in the park. But what if I need them? What if the keys can one day open the door I want? What if the poems help me befriend a new partner? What if the arachnids serve me as unlikely sustenance? There are too many ifs. But I'm also too afraid to find out the truth, so I let them stay with me, slowly becoming a part of me, helping me grow. I've grown so much. I had to lower my head when entering your room. These fingers won't stop, squirming and coiling around everything they feel, and I can only hope they merely take what they need. I would be saddened if my body grew too much, because I wouldn't get to enter rooms like yours anymore. Hey, have you ever attempted to help yourself grow by mercilessly taking away from someone else? Have you? These hands, are these my hands? A good answer. Yet, there is only one way to know the truth. Open your and I are similar. No, I know we are. I can feel it in my skin. Oh, can you hear it? My skin is pulsating. It has been long since this happened. It's a sign of my innermost emotions flowing out. I wander the world, wanting to be seen. I'll be satisfied as long as someone tells me how I look. But it's not like anyone will do. If it did, then it would be oh so easy, since I could show myself to everyone at once, every living person in this land, and ask them all the same question. Someone will answer. There's no doubt about it. But it might not be the answer I wish for, since I don't want to be judged. I don't want to be perceived as something I'm not. It scares me. That is why, when someone is on the verge of looking at me, I shy away. I hide, fading into the dark. But you might be different. If it's you, it might be possible to stand still, if only for a second. That way you can help me, and we can both be fulfilled. Just thinking about it, it makes me feel something. I cannot describe it. I am not good with words. There was a person in my past who taught me to speak like a person. They were not good at it either, and thinking back on it, they certainly didn't enjoy it. To teach a wordless being how to talk must be a challenge. Yet, they did, simply because they could. It is weird to remember, because it makes me think of why I want to be seen, and I am not. Sure, I don't care much for my appearance. I don't want to be judged. But if that were it, I could easily stay out of sight. So why is it? Why do I want someone to recognize me so much? Maybe it's only because I can. Because everyone gets to be recognized. But I will. Soon, once you open your eyes. There it is again. Just thinking about the moment you unveil your sight onto me, and you finally take those bed sheets off your body, and you inspect every crevice of mine, and you finally open those tight lips of yours to let me hear what I am, and to maybe even give me a name. It makes me feel, but I don't know what. Surely it would be evident if you were to look at my face. Hey, what does my expression look like when that veil of uncertainty finally disappears? What will we convey to each other? Answer me. An emotionless stare. That may be so. Expressions are difficult. They require one's face to contort in many different ways. I am not capable of that. Everything about me is stiff, from the way I walk, to the way I talk, to the way I feel. It is something I noticed long ago. I may hurt and I may grow, but I do not change, not in the way other people do. People interact with each other. They form connections. They experience thrills. A person becomes someone different with each passing second, turning old and perishing. However, I don't think I'm capable of any of those things. My journey began long ago, longer than any person has ever journeyed. And in my life, I have seen others born and die, born and die. A person's existence is so fleeting, and yet so many things happen to them. So many worthwhile memories. It is something I lack, or I page, it's not for the lack of memories, but rather because these memories mean nothing to me, save for a minuscule number. They are all the same, blending with each other into a mottled gray, lacking the meaning people often give to that which they care about. Perhaps if someone else had lived what I had, they would see meaning, they would treasure it, but I cannot. No matter how I try, I can't see any worth in what I do, and by extension, in what I am. I want for someone to tell me how I look, yet I don't see that as important. No one but me would care, so why should I care? But that doesn't mean I have never felt. I feel things, joy, sorrow, fear. I am always feeling, and right now, I am feeling strongly. It's here, in my pulsating skin. You say my expression is motionless, that it shows nothing, and if you say so, it must be true. But soon you will see something, because what I'm feeling is not nothing. Hey, have you ever masked yourself with indifference, only to hide the overwhelming emotions hiding beneath? Have you? This expression, is this my expression? I see. Thank you. You have truly helped me tonight. These are my eyes. These are my hands. And this is my expression. I consider these my most treasured features, and you have helped me picture them all. No one has done this for me. I feel a connection with you, one born out of honest gratitude. But there's one step left. You need to make sure of the truth. It is the only way to finally understand each other.